Hey y'all, hold on. Hey y'all. Okay, my bad. I was gonna come live, but I went down child, I was going down the rabbit hole. Honey, if y'all ain't hear about Tim, Brene and Akira, um, Brene decided to show up with Tim. She wasn't supposed to be there, but it shows in the document that they couldn't kick her out. So before we get into this, she showed up with Tim, but she showed up with Corinne, her mama, Tim's sisters, and family to his son graduation. Now I see Tim family being there, but what was the purpose of Corinne and her mama and Kayla there? I don't understand that. That's diabolical. And then before I got on here, a lot of people take a DDG side, but it's starting to show what I've been saying. They both was wrong. Yes, we're gonna get into that. But there is no reason why DDG brother should be calling his nephew ugly and saying he looked like Terrence Howard, trying to insinuate. And everybody saying he need to get his brother. He's not gonna get his brother, and his mama not gonna say nothing either. So we'll talk about that tomorrow on Lit Live Saturday. I got my reservations. I'm gonna say this: we gotta stop acting like ladies. Y'all had children with these men. This is the same man that your baby daddy is. I'm not saying they just alike, but you gotta look at the situation. If you had a child in your early 20s, this is why I'm advocating: do not have children until you're ready, because men feel like they can go and impregnate. There are men, not all, certain men who will impregnate a woman and go about their business and get another female pregnant and leave that woman to take care of that child. So no, he's not an angel because he was already laying up with somebody, having unprotected sex with Lala. We're not gonna act like he wasn't. Now, what if she would have got pregnant too? Another Nick Canyon situation. Let's move forward. And stop allowing. He needs to be held accountable. Where are the grandparents? Now let's get into what I want to get into, and then tomorrow we'll discuss that. First of all, we also going to discuss the girls are fighting. Elon Musk and Trump, honey. I want to tell you, I'm waiting on Elon to drop some more bombshells. All right, let's get into it. So, what? What? all right, y'all. I was just looking how they looking at a rapper in New York. If y'all knew who this is, Jeezy Muller for murder. We'll discuss to get into that tomorrow. Let's move forward. Okay, so Jane Doe, who shall not be named, we're not gonna do any names, we're not gonna do that, decided to go ahead and finish her testimony. Now, I've heard it may be a week. They're looking at that. So we're gonna hear a lot from Jane Doe. I believe she know a lot of things um, that Diddy was doing. So she did get back on the stand today, and she's finishing out her testimony. So we're gonna go over. I didn't get a chance to write down anything with reading. I was asleep, as you guys know. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and finish. This is the end of week 4. We're getting into week 5. They are still waiting on a couple of more witnesses in order to say, okay, we got what we needed. This is what it is, but they're still deciding if they want to continue, right? Now, FYI, the defense team is trying to, they got a motion, they was trying to motion to delay the trial, and it was a no. Okay. So let's get into it. Honey, it is a mess out here, so clear. They are here doing being so nasty. You can't do all that. Oh, oh, oh. Keep your being inside your pants and stop being so nasty and paying for some loving. Cause it ain't gonna work. Just because you like baby EO and watching having a fetish, you still need help. Sir, you being nasty. We question you. We trying to see, do you really love those men? Come on, tell us the truth. Just be honest with us. We tired of all the games. It's 2025. If you like it, that's your business. Hey, hey. Child. Get out your baby. Oh, and your Astro glad we getting into it. Cause it's about to be real hot, hot. Okay. So they came back. We're gonna start with this morning, this afternoon, and okay, we're just gonna jump into it. So they was showing explicit exhibits in the binder. They were talking to the judge and everything. They asked her, "Have you seen this man?" She said Sean brought him to our hotel room in L.A. I was in a robe and lingerie, the whole wardrobe I usually had. They asked what happened in the living room suite. She said, "I knew this was something. It could not be fake." She said she was repulsed by him. She tried for 30 minutes, and then she told Sean, "Can I talk to you in the bedroom?" And she told him, "I can't. I tried again, but no." I told Sean, "I'm sorry." So basically, after having all them interactions with all those men, he kept using, the same thing he was doing to Cassie. He was having, he got her nipple pierced. He was trying to get her to have interaction with all these men. She had so much interaction with all these men because she was still with him. Okay, remind you, and they probably still together. She had interaction with all them men in her coochie, bro. Her coochie ain't working no more. She can't perform. So Diddy was getting pissed off. Oh, I'm trying to get to the beginning of it, y'all. Let me hit this. But it wasn't working. Like, let me see. Hold on. But I can't find it before the break. So she basically said it wasn't working. Like, she because she came in late, but it wasn't working. She couldn't, you know what I'm saying? She couldn't perform for him. It wasn't working no more. Her cootie cat was broke. All right. So he was, Diddy was upset. Like it ain't nothing you can do to make your cutie cat work again. Cause he wanted to see some dangling. He wanted to see some dangling insert in the coochie that ain't working. And basically, if you really sum it while we reading, if you really think about it, she is an ex worker. Like just being honest, okay, an entertainer for purposes. Um, and then she asked, "What did she mean?" And then she said, she told him she was sorry. She said he was agitated. And then another, like 30 minutes later, another man came. And she asked her, did she talk to Sean first? She said no. She said, "A man I met in New York, I told him I didn't want to go to New York if it was just to set me up, excuse me, with the man. He said no, one on one, so I went." They asked her, did she have a Wi-Fi on the plane? She said yes. She sent him a text, "Do you want entertainment tonight?" He sent her a text, "I'm sorry." He asked if she wanted entertainment tonight. She said she felt disappointed. The thought of seeing my lover was shot down. Okay. She said that was her lover. It shot her down and disappointed her because she's used to not just having most, hotel nights. She wanted just to love him and, be had what that love bombing she had the first honeymoon phase, okay? Which is 3 months. Remember that. And get real after. They went to the Trump Hotel. Now, this is not sidebar. This is why Trump say, "Oh, he's my friend." This is why. Okay, so remember, the judge say, I saw the assistant. No, Jane said, I'm sorry. I saw the assistant step up the room with red lights for a hotel. I took this photograph. So she took the picture, and you can see the whole room was lit red. There's baby oil. Make sure y'all got y'all baby oil now. There's extra glide. Make sure you got it. Got your KY. Go ahead and shake it. Make sure you got it. Go ahead, honey. And basically he sat here, whatever, and had the room set up and everything. And they asked her what happened next. She said that she told him she didn't want to do it, and he got super offensive. On the way back to the room, Sean gave me a pill, and they asked her what it was. She said he made her pop some ecstasy. The man was in the room. They had a small talk. She let the man touch her leg a little bit, and then she took Sean to the bedroom and told him she couldn't do it. Now, the reason why she told him she couldn't do it, because word on the curb is the man was funky. He was musky, sweaty balls. Okay, but we gonna get into we gonna get into that. But mostly all, he done slutted her out so much that her coochie broke. Her coochie ain't working. It's broke. It's broke. Her cat broke. So she can't mess with nobody. My bad. So she said he got agitated and he called another performer. And they asked why. They said that's a hard question. At that point in the relationship, I knew that was what my partner wanted. Was Sean paying your rent? She said, yeah, he was paying that $10,000 rent. Did he mention an objection time frame? Was this after Sean started paying your rent? Yes, I called Sly. He was excited. He flew to New York that night from Atlanta. What happened? It was nice. We had sex in front of Sean at the Trump Hotel. Me and Sean had to go our separate ways, but I didn't want Sly to feel like we were leaving him. So cash was brought to the front desk for him by an assistant who was Joey, and she had sex with him in front of Sean. Okay. In another, she said it was a Spanish buff man. He was a bit odd. I felt he was pulling out this scent to smell doing sex. I don't know. In front of Sean, she said yes. And then asked about the other man who was more European at El Martiage. And they slept together twice. And then we get into Paul. So she saw Paul and Sly the most often. And she would reach out to, which one did you reach out to? She said, them, Anton, and Don. Did you ever arrange a hotel night as a surprise for Sean? She said she did it twice for Valentine's Day of the return of the trip. Um, you saw Cash during these hotel nights where she said it was in the drawer and nightstand. When Sean ran out of cash, what did he do? He made a phone call to his security or assistants. KK Cash would appear. How much? A good amount. To whom did Sean hand cash? Paul and Don he paid at the end. What would Sean say before he brought out his iPhone to record? Nothing, or is it just me? Or is it just for me? Then Sean sometimes act different, sometimes happy, sometimes not. What direction would Sean give to put the baby oil to the man on the man to touch myself? When you knew the camera was on you, how did you react? I was just a part of it. Did Sean ever record you while not on drugs? She said no. Did you act like you enjoyed it? She said yes. They asked her why. I wanted to put on a good show. What fantasy talk did you engage in? So they did role play and they did fantasy. Um, and they would create characters. And they showed her some exhibits, and then she said her and Don, it was one of her and Don, the next one was her and Sly. And then she talks about her and Paul, and then her and Leo, Anton, and herself. Was Sean present for all of these? She said yes. She said she wore stripper shoes on the whole time. And she said that the baby oil would drip down in the shoes, and she would try to keep her balance because she was about to fall because she got baby oil, slipping and everything. But he wanted her to do, tell her to do her best. Deshaun should get your nipple pierced. She got her nipple pierced because he said it would turn him on. The same time that, the same thing that Cassie got her nipple pierced. Who set up the piercing appointment? It was KK. And then she got caught on her lingerie, and the nipple got affected. She had to take it out. He said, where are my piercings? This is the last time I see you. This is the last time I see you without them. And she said her back was hurting because she would have to bend over, do all these positions. Her vagina would get sore. She didn't tell Sean that it was because she didn't want to indicate any negativity. So, and they asked her, why did she keep going? And she said, I'm not sure. So the judge called the sidebar. They came back. He called the sidebar, then they came back. They asked her, do you have an estimate of how many times you told Sean you didn't want to keep having hotel nights? She said, I don't have an estimate. And she said, did you write? And she said, yes. And sometimes I had to encourage the courage to text it to Sean. So in 2021, she said how she felt. She said she felt jealous. She saw he was doing things with another woman on their IG stories. She said she felt jealous because why do you feel jealous if you do things other women? She say I came to do hotel nights with Don and Sly, and then hold on. She say she had to do hotel nights with Don and Sly, and he would give his quality time to another woman. And she say she need a breather and a break from him. And there was a voice note. He say she asked me to work out. This is the time you're going to be cursed at me. I don't have a bunch of guy friends. Don't matter if I just effed her. Be sad, go crazy. I don't deserve being honest with someone. And she said that he called her crazy often, which made her feel confused. And then she said that she didn't just come to the gym. I don't even care who you are laying with. I wanted that time with him. I said, you just want the hotel shit. She said she had in a adult entertainment with Leo. She was high, and that made her partner happy, so she was okay with that. She said that they asked her how many phones did Sean use. She said she was two. Sean started dating another woman. He did a big birthday for her. Now this is Carisha, because it was on his IG story at the time. He was dating Carisha. He did something big for her birthday. So at the time, that's when we saw that but they were supposed to be together. She said, "I see where you are going for her. Why? Why do you play me?" And he said, "She's just a business partner." Then you say she's spending money on you. How would you feel if I said a man was spending money on me? And she said he would feel cheap. So basically, Carisha had a birthday bash. Remember, Carisha spent money. That's true. Carisha did spend money on him, I think, for his birthday. Because remember, he had that birthday party that before. No, the last birthday he had, or was it her birthday? One of them. But she did buy that man a watch. She did. She did. After your first hotel night in May 2021 with Don, what did you do next? She said they were out on a yacht and they would just sleep at the hotel nights. What did you write in this note? I wrote, why am I just... And she asked him why she, his freaky desires. Did you send this to Sean? She said, no, I didn't have the courage. In this note, I wrote, you were partying with another girl. You just want me to have fun with. I'm done being used by you. You're trashing my house with dirty debauchery. I'm done. And what was this? Right after my birthday, having sex with these men in a hotel room. Sean went on vacation with another girl he was dating, which is Young Miami. How did he respond to your text? He wrote, I didn't tell her about your birthday. What did you write to it? It looked like I had a nice birthday dinner with my girlfriends. Who paid for the dinner, Sean? But was he there? No, because he was selling, I think, Young Miami and Jane Doe birthday or the same, I think around the same time. It's around the same time. So she went to have dinner with her friends, and he was not there. So basically, that's who he was with at the time. It seemed like to me different women got different treatment, but I mean, whatever. That he wasn't there, and then she said that she was tired after 3 men. And then he wrote her, I'm tired of you throwing sex in my face. Let's just be friends. Typical man, right? What did you think he meant? Anytime I brought up the hotel nights, what did you write? Are you really breaking up with me? So she started sobbing on the stand. You're the only man in my life. You took someone else to the place I have dreamed about. And she said it was Turks and Caicos. And he wrote, I'm tired of these long texts telling me what I'm doing wrong. I wrote, what am I doing wrong? Okay. So they took a break. He eventually did take her to Turks and Caicos, but we're going to get into that. So counsel decided to talk. Counsel to Jane Doe. I want to bring the court's opinion that there were YouTube accounts that was actively trying to find out Jane Doe's identity. Where we find contact information, we reach out, we recording live streams. So just to let you guys know, they are watching people when you talk about it who trying to figure out who Jane Doe is. Jane Doe is Jane Doe. That's who it is. That's who it always gonna be. Jane Doe. Okay, remember the movie, the little horror movie, something about Jane Doe? We're going to make it something, this is something about Jane Doe. Okay, she's telling her story. And we're going to leave it just as such. Okay, Jane Nitra. Jane Nitra. We could call her Jane Nitra sometimes. It's okay. My bad. Okay. Y'all hear my phone is just that. So they had a discussion. They asked if they have evidence of these people in the courtroom or in the overflow room. If we have found it, we would have asked for them to be banned from the courtroom or overflow room. So anybody that's there, shout out to the people that's there and they're not saying anything. And I love how they're just keeping it Jane Doe. Just leave it that. And they said they're gonna make it ex parte filing. I'll make ex marshals to investigate. That's what the judge said. Okay. So the reason why they're doing this because of the whole Mia situation. Nobody will know what she looked like, but she went by Mia. Okay. Here's the thing. They're doing what they gotta do to protect the people. We're gonna leave it that way. Everybody deserves to be protected at this cost with this trial. And listen, protocol is protocol. So then Jane's counsel, if someone published her license, it would violate your order. And then the judge says, send me what you can. I'll consider it even over the break. Poor judge. He got to listen. This is a working man, honey. So they came back. And then we get to the exhibit. And then it shows her notes that she was writing about her feelings at the time. She said, you lied straight to my face to use me for a hotel night before your trip. Let me say this. With Jane Doe, this is just my opinion before we finish. I feel like something happened in that previous relationship with her BD, and she thought she found somebody to do better to up the score, and it wasn't just that. Okay, so we're just going to be honest. And this is why I say it's okay to heal and not look for the next best thing. It's really like, let's be serious. They took a she took so when they asked her when she took a break from Sean, where did you travel? Baby, she said she went to France, and then Sean started texting her again, and then she was in Paris, honey. And she said that she was having her a good time before he texted her. It was a time for her to unwind, get to herself. A lot had happened. I guess she's traumatized and all that stuff with this relationship. She just needed that. And so they asked her how did she feel about it when he texted her. She said that he cared, but I knew I had to stay strong. I went away for 5 days. Oh, she had a good, okay, well, good vacation. He was adamant we should see each other, and she missed him. And they asked her why. Why do you miss him? She said because she loved him. So soon we were planning to go to Turks. I'd go to Miami first. And he wrote her and told her a night of debauchery, then to the beach. She said no. We have to reconnect. He said cool. Then that turned out to be true. She said no. What did you do in Miami? She said they bickered about Paris. Sorry, excuse me, y'all. He said his girl just can't up and leave like that. And then they showed her the picture of their, them together with their dinner. Child, you not gonna tell me I can't leave. I don't. Oh, honey. Oh, I keep telling y'all before I'm a runner, I am a track star, baby. I don't. One time seen as that it. When shit me. And then they asked her, then what? She took a pill and they went to a hotel and they were watching Corn. Sean said, do you want Dawn? And she said, yes. And she said she was just used to it. Then they went to Turks. In Turks, Paul came. She said she was in the back in the outfit. She was trying to do another route. It was really painful because she couldn't have sex because she was really sore at that time. And he tried to lube her up. Sean tried to lube her up. She said, you can't take any more D. I threw the bracelet and said, you only brought me here to suck for you. I was talking and then sat out on the step of the villa. Then Sean talked. She said, yes. He said, how can you make me look like that in front of Paul? So the way that it's going, it seems like this is just a power thing for him. That's what it seemed like. His ego. You ain't gonna talk like that. But every man feel that way. But it's just, So he made her apologize to Paul, child. I wouldn't just say hell no. Um, I mentioned him and said I was sorry for how I acted. That I was really glad he come out to see me. And she said Sean told her to do that. And then she said they asked her did she write Sly. My bad. She said that she said if he could come to Turk, she told him he need a passport and vaccinate. You need a vaccination for Turk and Caicos? I need to look that up because I wanted to go. That's a sidebar. Now back to the story. Back to the thing. I'm sorry, y'all. Sly told her that he had a passport. He was willing to, but he don't have a vaccination card. And she said she did it to make it up, to Sean because he was upset that she started an argument and stormed out and decided to sit down on the villa steps in front of Paul, stormed out, had a fit. She was upset with him. So they asked her, why did you write this to Sly? And Paul, she said, I wanted them to feel good like they were not being used. She said she just did. She didn't want, them to feel like she didn't want them there. She couldn't stand them. She didn't want really the truth. She was trying to mask her true feelings of, I really don't care for y'all. He gave her a love contract in March 2023. I know you damn lying. He asked how much did I want per month. I said 15 and he said 10. We finna get into it because this get interesting. He started paying your rent. She said yes. They asked her, well, who's paying your rent now? He's still paying her rent. He's still paying that girl rent. He paid for her teeth. He got her teeth done. He didn't like her teeth. He made her go get new veneers. He also paid the furniture house. Her allowance just didn't do it. And she used 3 credit cards of his. Okay. They used 3 credit cards. And she promised him an all-star party where she bring the top 3 guys all in the same night. They asked her why. She said she was with her lover, so she called him her lover. And he liked that. I told him I have to be awake at 8 a.m. Sunday. I said the last time I got sick. So then they went to the first test. And she said she felt hesitant from about the all-star party. He asked, does your cootie cat hurt? You're not being straight with me. And then a minute later, he quote my text asking for help with more furniture for the house. And then they brought up a guy named Rico. Okay. She asked who was Rico. And they asked her who was Rico, right? And she said maybe the man named Michael. Oh wait, maybe it was a role play. Sean was Rico. You don't know? She said, I don't know. They say, why did you send Sean a photo of pink toilet paper? So she decided to send him that to say, hey, listen, my period coming. She needed the night off to postpone. Her cycle is coming, honey. And, she wanted to relax. She's cramping. She wants some, she just not with it, right? He tells her, you're getting your hair done for nothing. I'm done. Well, damn, she ain't supposed to get her hair done because you. And she said, what did you mean movie night was not on my mind? She said, we would not have an entertainer. We'll just watch our own movie of hotel nights. We called it movie night. And she said, what did you write? Why do you talk about the father of my child? All because you didn't get your way one night and bust a nut. Damn. Oh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's fucked up. This man sends her a voice message and say, I don't have time, baby girl. I don't got time for all that. That's basically what he told her. You need to get on your job. What? How did you interpret that? She said, making sure he's happy, including those nights. How did you respond? That he always brought up paying for the house, and it felt like I don't know this guilt trip. So they decided to take a break for the day and week, and leave. First of all, how the hell you out here flabbergasted with a whole nother woman? Come to find out, word on the street was he was paying Miami. He paid Miami more money than her. I'm not sure for what it was, but this is alleged. But it was said. I believe I heard that. And for the revolt and everything, gave her a show, and you got this woman in hotels with men. So you have a fetish. So let me tell you something. Break this down to you. I want y'all to go on Tubi. I want y'all to watch She Is Watching. In the movie, the girl is claiming to, this is a side note, this is what I'm taking from every time I hear about this trial. The girl is claiming, she's like, I just want to watch. I'll pay to watch y'all. But in the movie, the girl that was paying to watch, a couple that was together have an interaction, she moves in. You know, it seemed like to me, you paying to watch this, but you really enticed by it. To me, as a woman. To me. All right, so they were showing these that basically, some exhibits after the jury leaves where the victim wrote calling Mr. Combs a liar because he has multiple women. He said in our opening, and they said put in the letter, and it was in a docket. So they adjourned from the day. But here's the thing, you can't call him a liar when he specifically told you he has other women. The fact is, like I said, she is a victim, of course, but we're going to be honest. She was looking for the next best thing after that relationship. Whatever toxicity it was in that with her baby father, she was looking for the next best thing. But she didn't put a thought to herself, because she was so charmed that he was only using her to get to that man. Like, let's be honest. Like, that's his enemy. So let's be for real. And now she's out here looking crazy. She wanted to be a kept woman, and he showed her she could be a kept worker. And that's what we got. All right, y'all. So we have a lot to discuss tomorrow. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh, my bad. I don't want no copyright. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 10:30. And my bad. We're gonna speak on a lot of things tomorrow. I want you ladies, I would love to have y'all in here tomorrow at 10:30. We're going to discuss the war on the uterus with the government, and how if you have stillborn or miscarriages, or if you know that you're going to have these issues, how they're trying to force you to still hold on to a deceased baby in your womb because they wanted a child. They're going to they're going to say you want a lot. We're going to get into it. And I'm going to show what can be done. You know what I'm saying? Things that you can avoid it tomorrow at 10:30 to help. Saturday live Saturday, we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about, but we're gonna discuss that. Then we're gonna go a little bit into the DDG and Hannah situation. I'm gonna leave it there. We're gonna get into the girls are fighting. I want Elon Musk to just tell us everything because this is interesting. I've told people this. We're going to get into that. And baby, we're going to get into why the fuck did Brene bring her whole family to that baby graduation? Why? We're gonna get into that. So y'all prepare yourself Saturday night. Make sure you have your drink. I don't care if it's wine, liquor, have your food, have your snacks. And then we'll resume Monday for the trial. When they come at the week 5, I'm gonna read a little bit until they break it. When they go to break, I'm gonna leave it there and then we'll pick up like we've been doing. Anything else happen, we gonna talk about it. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy it. Oh, my vlog will be up soon. Okay, so I am gonna vlog, honey, cause I still gotta get my hair done. I still gotta buy my clothes. I still will order my boots. I still what else I got to do? And I gotta order my ticket. Oh yeah, and book my transportation to get done. Lord Jesus. So your girl got a lot to do. Yeah. So I'm gonna end this live. I'm trying to get the list. I'm trying to get the vlog together for y'all. Um, I do want to show y'all. I'm so excited. We have like 2 weeks left to the concert. Um, yeah. So my July 4th, I'm off work, so y'all know what that is. I got a Juneteenth added into the vlog, so just be prepared for that because we finna have us a good old time. And a lot of people was like, oh, this just conversation with y'all. But a lot of people was like, oh, you doing a lot, girl. Yeah, I am. Listen, let me tell you something. I am a single black woman, a mother of a teenager. I'm about to be an empty nester. I would not have been if I didn't have what I had 5 years ago, and that's why I'm having this conversation with the board of uterus. But I'm gonna give my story about it. And no, I did not have an abortion, but I'm going to discuss it and what I experienced and see if I can pull up that paperwork. But yeah, like I'm about to be an empty nester in three going on 2 years. So I'm just learning to enjoy the time with my son and also enjoy the time with myself. And I'm a single woman. I'm doing all those things that I can do to enjoy me. Okay. But we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Yeah. So I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Ladies, get your coffee. I'm going to post the link if there are ladies going to be in there tomorrow with that. And I would love for you guys to share your story and what your experience were. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.